Compromising photos, maybe an inappropriate text. Scammers are finding new ways to twist private information online. Cybersecurity expert Dave Hatter tells us about increasing ransomware attacks and if you can really protect yourself. You know, we talked about people maybe extorting you virtually, but this is something a little different.
Yeah, this is a pure digital play. I mean, there's always the I've got information on you and I'll put it out on social media, kind of using these social channels to extort you in traditional ways. This really is more about ransomware, which is sort of a new form of malware, you know, virus type stuff. It's really nasty though, because once you get it, it typically will encrypt the files on your computer, you know, scrambles them basically in a nutshell. And then they want you to pay a ransom to get the key to decrypt the files and make your computer useful again.
Now, even if you pay the ransom, does it actually work?
Well, there's no guarantee. And my advice to someone is once you've been hit with this, don't pay the ransom. They're probably going to make you use Bitcoin or something like that that's not traceable. Definitely don't give them a credit card. These people are criminals.
Right.
You know, do not use a credit card. If you were going to do this, you'd need to use something like Bitcoin. But my advice would be don't pay. There's no guarantee that they're going to decrypt your files, and you're probably just going to be out the money.
Okay, then what do you need to avoid clicking on, or can you? Good
question. Well, unfortunately, they've gotten very tricky about how they do this. In many cases, especially when this first started, CryptoLocker is probably the most famous ransomware. I know someone personally that got hit with this. Their computer got infected with it. It encrypted all their files, and they wanted a ransom. And unfortunately, he had to pretty much restore the system defaults. He had to get the disks he got with the computer, restore everything, and he had a backup, so he didn't lose everything. But that's one of the downsides of this. If you get hit with this and you get the encrypted version, there's not going to be much you're able to do except restore a backup. And if you don't have a backup, you're probably going to lose everything. So,
yeah.
So what you got to avoid, Kara? I know I'm hitting with a lot of information.
Let's be clear of that, though. If you click on this, you're in trouble. You're kind of out of luck.
So I guess there's two major points. It points out that you really, not only because of ransomware, but you ought to have some kind of backup for any important data on your computer.
Okay.
Whether it's work information or it's family photos or financial information or whatever, if you're not backing that up to an external drive or maybe a cloud-based service like Carbonite or something, if you get hit with this or if the computer just crashes, you're potentially out of luck, unfortunately. Secondarily, so a lot of these things will be delivered. Someone's email account gets hacked, their social media account gets hacked. These types of criminals love these kinds of things because something shows up on Facebook and it looks like it came from me. You know me, so you trust it, you click on it, and you get infected. There's also an even more devious thing with an attack called FestLeak where they've infected ad networks. So a website like FOX19 that's serving up ads to generate revenue, the ad networks are infected with these things, and the ads, when you click them, deliver this bad payload. So I know this is a lot for people to take in, and it sounds really scary, and it is pretty bad. The best thing you can do for yourself, always make sure you got some kind of antivirus software, although it may not protect you from this. Install the latest patches. Be very skeptical about what you click on. You know, there's usually telltale signs for these things. If hackers do this, the grammar will be bad. It won't sound quite right. It'll urge you to some kind of action. You have to do this right now. It'll be some kind of tittillating details.
Okay.
And you got to stay away from that kind of stuff.
Dave Hatter, thanks so very much.
My
It's all
pleasure.
the time we have. And
Thank you.
back up, back up,
Back up,
your stuff.
yes, back up.
It'll be your new chant. We'll be right back.